Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is Roger Rossmus, the CEO of Goliath Resources. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me back. We had a great conversation last time, and looking forward to chatting with you again.
Yeah, it's such a huge pleasure having you come back to Wall Street Silver. I wanted to get you on to talk about everything that's happening in the market, gold, silver, the economy. First, we'll start off with gold. There's been there's so much excitement now going on in the gold and silver markets,
Yes.
especially in the past like 3, 4 months since you've seen these massive moves in the gold prices. Where do you see gold going from now to the end of 2024? I know a lot of my previous guests say it doesn't really matter because they were looking for a way longer term. But for short term, where do you see gold going?
Well, I would actually agree with the previous guest, but the way things are looking here today, we're 23, 26. I could foreseeably see at least a 2400 plus by the end of this year. Again, silver now, it's touching around 30. I would imagine silver is going to have that boomerang effect at some point here. But we haven't seen that as yet. But certainly, if you listen to the chatter out there, we're expecting, some pretty big things to happen in the silver move, which hasn't happened as of yet. Uh, and I guess as far as the uh, actual miners themselves, they have seen a bit of an uptick here, but I
Right.
don't think they really have seen the full magnitude of what's happening as gold prices leading the seniors here. And I think it'll be interesting what will happen here once they announce their Q2 results. So I would imagine there'll be a bit of a re-rate happening with the gold producers as well as the silver producers.
Absolutely. Now, Roger, why is it so important right now, especially in today's society, for the individual investor to own gold or silver? Like, why is it so important to own precious metals, in your opinion?
I think it's a bit of a safe haven. You manage to preserve some of the wealth. And bottom line is, these fiat currencies at some point, I do believe they're going to implode. I don't know when. Could be years from now, but
Right.
obviously anyone's investment portfolio should own some physical as just sort of a good thing to have in your vaults.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the silver market right now, where recently we hit $30, and for years and years, even on
Yes.
Wall Street Silver, people were saying, the second silver hits that $30 mark, it's moving off to 40 and $50. Do you see the potential of something happening like what happened with the Hunt brother heirs with the Hunt brother? Like with silver when it was skyrocketing up to $50 plus. Do you see that happening again, short term or long term with silver?
I think it's going to happen short term here. I'm
Right.
seeing a lot of people calling for, $50 silver. I think they're calling that before the end of June. And, ultimately it's ready to spring. And, all the key, let's call it the key ingredients are there. And it's just a matter of time. So is it the end of July? Maybe it's back to 50 or up to 50 or maybe end of August. But, it's really hard to say. I know certainly the demand for gold and silver, just even buying the physical, is getting tougher and tougher. You're paying, above market. The quoted price is one thing, but if you can actually want to buy physical, you're going to be paying a lot more than that. So, and I saw something on I guess the Shanghai, the Silver Exchange. There's some things happening on there where there's some big issues going on. So that could be one big catalyst that does propel everything much higher.
If you're using your personal phone number to close business deals, you're not just mixing work and play, you're sabotaging your own chance of success. Not only can it look amateur, but you and your team are probably using 18 different apps to get this done. Let the sponsor of this video, Nextiva, cut this down to one app. Nextiva consolidates your business voice, texts, video meetings, and CRM inside of one app. You get seamless, personalized customer interactions across all channels. And you can even do this if you are currently running your business off your personal phone and your CRM is a spreadsheet. You don't need any tech experience. You just need to download their app and follow the easy setup. You can make this one change and your business will look as polished as a Fortune 500 company, and you'll be able to focus on closing and scaling. This is the year to level up your business and lower your costs. Use the link in the description below to get 50% off your plan. Now, you're the CEO of Goliath Resources, and you're in the mining industry, so you have some really great expertise and some knowledge in the mining industry. What would you look at first for all the people out there watching and who are silver and gold stackers, and but who are also like mining investors? What do you tell them, or what do they look at first before they actually invest into a mining company, whether it's silver, whether it's gold? What do you look at?
Well, yeah, well, in our case with Goliath Resources, we have a brand new discovery up in the Golden Triangle, British Columbia. So number one, it's in a safe jurisdiction, mining friendly jurisdiction, First Nations, very important, all pro mining, pro business, and then you have to look at the size of the potential deposit, like how big is it? As an example for Goliath, we just drilled into this recently in 2021. We still don't know how big it is. It just gets bigger and bigger every year.
Right.
And then you want to look at the infrastructure. We have infrastructure close by. We have a town that Kitsault that houses up to 300 people. It sits on tidewater, so essentially getting moving materials north and south, which goes down to Prince Rupert, 190 kilometers to the south of the project site, and then we have a rail across Canada or deep sea port. So slowly we tick the boxes, and then I guess the most important factor would be, okay, you find something at some point. Okay, you have a defined deposit.
Right.
Can you get the gold extracted out of the host rock? Which is very important because that's going to affect your operational costs. So what we have determined or proven with our discovery, our system actually, we get a 92.2% recovery of the gold out of 327 micron
What's
crush.
the average? Do you know what the average is on for normal mines?
Well, actually it depends on, really it's the crush, which is a
Right.
big component to your operation is electricity. So how small do you need to crush that material to extract the gold?
Right, because
So
you're using more electricity and then more gas and then more oil and then yeah.
correct. Well,
Right.
exactly. So it just costs, it's more energy to extract the gold. A 327 micron is very coarse grain.
Right.
If I recall, we mentioned that we do have visible gold in our core with nuggets up to 11 millimeters in size. So it's a very coarse grade type of system. So no deleterious material. It's a simple gravity flotation operation. And of that, we're getting close to 49% of that is free gold from gravity alone. So that is the cheapest form of producing gold. You can actually pour, they could pour doré bars on site, once this goes into production, which I do believe our discovery will be a mine someday.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, looking back at the economy, there's so much turmoil. You see, there's war in the Middle East that's been continuing for so long. You see the Russia and the Ukraine thing that doesn't seem like it's going away anytime soon. How does this affect like mines around the world, natural resources? How does it even affect the price of silver and gold when you see, is it more of a monetary policy issue with silver and gold? And is the political events around the world just a temporary thing with precious metals? What do you see?
Well, I mean, right now, as I see, I think everything's all baked in at this
Right,
point.
right,
Um, and just from the miner's point of view, why uh, we're seeing the rise certainly in gold. There retail is buying it overseas. India, China, you name it. Even the U.S. Costco ran out of, I forget how many they sold, but they basically went up for sale, was gone the next day type of thing. So
yeah,
it's not just the miners or the end, let's call it the countries buying for their own personal vaults.
right,
Just everyone in your neighbors is buying physical. And again, the seniors are running out of reserves. Every time they pull out an ounce out of the ground, that's an ounce they're going to have to replenish at some future point.
right,
So certainly the demand supply is at a point where the senior miners need to discover or acquire new mines that'll be in production for them, once, 10 years, 5 years down the road to replenish and make sure, that they can continue to be profitable and and dividend cash to their shareholders and so on, with whatever they need to do to obviously attract and keep investors interested in that particular story.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Roger, it's such a huge pleasure you come into Wall Street Silver and talking about the markets, talking about the mining sector. Before you leave, one more question for you. Why do you see, like, how come, when gold makes a big move and you're seeing silver now making those moves, how come you see the mining sector not make those moves with it? Is it yet? Is it coming soon? Like, where do you see, why do you see it lagging so much there?
I think for initially it was just, I think, my opinion is
Right,
a lot of people didn't think that this price was going to stick, because we've seen this before,
right,
like a fake out, or yeah, it peaks and then then the next month it's like back down below 2000. But
right,
now we're establishing a very good range here of where the commodities are currently trading. I don't see them going substantially or materially lower. And again, once I think the seniors start announcing, or producers announcing their Q2 results here, I think we'll see, I would hope to see anyways, a change of certainly market caps from on the producer side of things. And then ultimately, once we see that movement, then it'll
right.
trickle down to the junior miners, where we're patiently waiting. We're seeing a bit of a trickle of a waterfall right now of some of the money that has been on the sidelines coming back into the sector, which is great.
Mhm.
And as an example, I was talking to an investment banker at one of the firms in the United States, and
Mhm.
they're saying they're seeing more deals where the actual issuer is being extremely picky who comes in, so they can pick and choose as to who's going to come and finance their company versus, call it 2, 3 years ago,
Right.
typically say, hey, someone wants to participate in private placement, we need funding to advance this project. They would just take the money no matter where it was coming from. So the fact that the issuers are starting to be a little more pickier as to who is going to be coming in as a new shareholder on a private placement, that tells me that the tides are slowly changing for us. So it's all very positive. And as we entering this bull market, which I think Goliath is perfectly situated, where we have this brand new discovery. We don't know how big it is. We continue to drill this year, and it just gets bigger and bigger from the previous drill programs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, Roger, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Silver, and hopefully in the future, we can have you back on, see as silver and gold move, of course, and hopefully the
Yes,
mining sector will be watching that closely. We'd love to
sure.
have you back on.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
All right, talk to you soon.